The Adventures of Lolo was released in North America on the NES by HAL Laboratory in 1989. It's a continuation of the Japanese series Eggerland, with this being the first North American release. You play as Lolo, a furry ball thing, on a quest to save the Princess Lala from the evil King Egger. You traverse through a castle with the simple task of solving puzzles to unlock the door to the next room, with the eventual objective to get to Egger and save the princess. There are 10 floors in the castle, with 5 rooms per floor, making up 50 rooms altogether. The objective in each room is to gather up all the heart icons, and once they're all acquired, the treasure chest opens up, and grabbing the gem within the chest clears the room of all enemies and unlocks the door or stairway to the next room or floor. Enemies try to outright attack you, like the Medusa that will fire at you and automatically kill you once you cross over in front of it, or simply impede your progress, like this green guy that falls asleep upon making contact with him, to the point where you get locked into the stage and have to press select to give up a life. It's very unusual for a game to have a suicide button, but in this kind of game, it makes all the sense in the world. You can attack with your magic shots once you build up magic points by collecting a certain amount of hearts. This amount varies level to level, by the way. The magic shots will turn enemies into an egg, which you can kick off screen, providing you still have a magic point to use. You can also block other enemies with the egg, or push it into the water to use as a temporary bridge that floats along the current. These creatures will respawn, either in the spot where you left the egg before it hatches, or if you kick it off screen, it will respawn in its original spot. The decision to do one or the other will often prove to be important. There are also power-ups, which you'll acquire after reaching a certain number of hearts, much like the magic shots. These powers include a bridge to get across the water, a hammer that'll break a rock, or a one-way pass which will clear this one-way sign and allow you to pass over it. You otherwise can't go down one of these one-ways backwards. The power-ups you can use in each level vary from room to room, and you can tell which power-up the current room offers by the icon over here. There is a little bit of combat and dodging and whatnot, but the vast majority of this game is solving the puzzles. There aren't any boss battles or anything. Even at the very end of the game, once you finish the last room, there's a cutscene that covers the final showdown, but that's it. You don't actually take part in it. But that's part of what makes this game unique. Not that there weren't any other puzzle games during this time, but the combination of the puzzles, the usage of items, and the cartoony art style gives this game a distinct flavor. And while sometimes it can get frustrating when you're stuck on a puzzle, it never gets cryptic or absurd. You just need an aha moment. That being said, it does tend to get a little samey. Not that the puzzles are mechanically redundant or anything, there's actually a surprisingly good chunk of variety in the puzzle designs and the strategies that you have to implement to solve them, even with the limited amount of objects and large amount of levels. But the fact that there are a lot of levels, and the fact that you're going to find yourself stuck in a given level for a while trying to figure it out, means it's going to take some time to finish the game for the first time, which is why it's a good thing that there is a password system. Also, the aforementioned limited amount of objects does leave you seeing a lot of the same shit. But again, the stellar job of level design makes up for this. What really could have used some variety, though, is the soundtrack. It's one song for all 50 rooms in the game. And while it's a good enough tune, it would have been cool to have a different song for each floor. Not to mention maybe a different design theme. Give some identity to each of these floors, you know? Because really, the only reason to have different floors in the first place is it helps you keep count. I thought for sure that once I ran out of the 5 lives I started with and selected continue, I was going to end up in the first room of the floor that I last left off on. But instead, I ended up picking up right where I left off in the same room, rendering the life count useless. I mean, you're just going to end up right back where you left off either way, so what's the point? It's not like you have limited continues or anything, so really, you have infinite lives. One thing I gotta say, it took me a little while getting used to how you can use half a space on the grid. In other words, I was expecting, based on feel more than anything, that when I push this block, for example, and let go, it would move over one tile space, the same amount of space each object takes up. But you can move items a half a space over, which can lead to you overshooting or undershooting your target, and sometimes blocking access to something you'll need, even forcing you to use the suicide button. But while these moments can be frustrating, the other end of the spectrum is that sometimes you need to use these half spaces to complete the puzzles. It actually opens up the possibilities for the level designs. You just gotta be conscientious of this and be careful when you need to line something up in a specific spot. Don't rush anything. At the end of the day, Adventures of Lolo isn't a perfect game, but the flaws aren't that big of a deal. It's a simple game, but its appeal is in its simplicity. It's unique and it's fun. The game starts off with a cutscene of King Edgar kidnapping Lala and Lolo venturing off to the castle to rescue her. In room 1, you've got a snaky blocking your path, and that's all they do. They're otherwise harmless. Grab the heart, and then you'll have the power to blast him into an egg and kick him off the screen to get to the other one, and you'll open the chest, grab the gem, and move on to room 2. And here you've got 2 pink dragons called Galls. They don't move, but they spit fire at you if you cross their path. However, they only do this if you wake them up, which happens after grabbing all the hearts. There are 4 hearts in this particular room. Get the 2 on the left side of the screen near the Galls, so they don't block you in, and after getting the last heart, take the upper path back to the chest. If you go under, you'll have to use the block to barricade the fire. In room 3, there are 5 hearts, a snaky in the middle, and this green guy called the Leaper that patrols the perimeter and passes out upon making contact with you. Eggify and kick the snaky, grab the hearts along the way, and there's not a lot of room to deal with this guy. But luring him over to this area will give you enough room to go around him to get the other 2 hearts, and the chest is over the bridges. Room 4 has 5 hearts as well, and there are 3 skulls that will wake up and traverse around the room upon you grabbing all the hearts. Push these blocks along the edges to block in these 2, and then push these blocks out of the way so you can blast this skull and grab the remaining 3, giving you easy access to the chest and the door. The last room of the floor has 4 hearts, each one tucked away inside these rock forts in the corners. Meanwhile, these gray box guys named Rocky try to block you into a tight spot where you can't get out. Push the blocks in each corner to get to the hearts, and wait until you've got ample distance between you and these pricks, and when you get the gem, you'll go up the stairs to floor 2. There are 6 hearts in this room, and this roly-poly guy named Alma will give chase. Get ahead of him and grab the hearts. They're all pretty much along the perimeter. Get the gem, get the hell out, and you're on to room 2. There are 7 hearts in here, all scattered throughout. These tiki statue looking things called Medusas are a lot like the dragons. They'll fire darts at you when you cross them, although you don't have to wake them up first. They're always attacking you, and you can't trap them in eggs. Their attacks travel through just about everything, with the exception being rocks and pushable blocks. Push the blocks to barricade them from underneath and from the side, grab the hearts, and head up the center to get the rest unscathed, and head up the door to room 3. 6 hearts in this room, all within these rocks on the sides. This monster called the Dawn Medusa is the Medusa on steroids, cause it will fire a sword once you cross it, and you can't dodge it. Lolo freezes in fear and then dies. On top of that, this asshole shuffles back and forth in one direction or the other. Basically, it's the biggest pain in the ass of the game. Push the blocks up to allow access around the edges, hug the walls to get the hearts, and grab the gem to move on to room 4. In here you've got a snaky blocking a heart, a Rocky, and 8 total hearts. Make sure Rocky isn't anywhere near you as you grab the hearts around the perimeter, and you'll get a hammer after 6 hearts. Use it to destroy the rock to get this heart, kick the snaky out of the way, grab the gem, and it's on to the last room of the floor. 5 hearts in here, 3 skulls, 2 almas, and a partridge in a pear tree, or a snaky in the center to be more accurate. 1 alma is trapped behind the grass, and the other is trapped behind the skull, which of course won't move until you've gotten all the hearts. Worry about that later. First grab these 2 hearts, then kick away the Alma down here to get the 3rd. And with that 3rd heart, you now get the one-way pass, so you can move this arrow and access this area down here. This is why you can't save these top hearts for last. You've got to grab these at the end, and then all the shit in the room starts chasing you. But you can alleviate this by egging the snaky and pushing it against the skull, which will block him even after the snake rehatches, and then pushing 2 of the blocks out of here. It's a little bit tedious, but this will block off the other 2 skulls and you'll be done with the floor. So now on to the 3rd floor, and the first room has 8 hearts. The Medusas against the wall will stop you from crossing over, while also blocking you from the chest and heart. So start off by egging the snaky so you can push it up against the statue and grab all these hearts. Then use your newly acquired bridge power to get across and push these 3 blocks across the way, 2 of them blocking the Medusa up here and the other down here. Grab the hearts on the far side while you're getting the blocks, and save this one for last so you can make a run for the jewel and move on to the next room, which has 5 hearts. The Alma in here will come after you, shoot him into an egg, and push him into this nook and trap it with the block so he doesn't come back after you when the egg hatches. Grab the hearts around the perimeter, shoot this snaky into an egg, and push it into the water to get the heart on this island. Use the egg to get back over before it washes away, avoid the skulls, get the jewel, and get out. The 3rd room has 9 hearts and these 2 leapers that try to trap you. Head left first, get the hearts, and let this guy pass out over here, which will force the other guy around the other way. Lure him out into this open space so you can go around him and pick up the rest of the hearts and move on to room 4. Only 5 hearts in here, but it's another close quarters cluster with skulls waiting for you to wake them up. At first glance, it seems like you don't have any legit options because you're trapped behind these blocks and you don't want to trap the chest and lock yourself away from it. Push this block down to get out, walk the perimeter, grab all the hearts, and then on the last one, swing back down here to get the chest and head out to the last room of the floor. 7 hearts in here and a shitload of galls. Since they're waiting for you to wake them up, simply grab all the hearts except for one of the ones on the bottom here. Push the block to barricade it, grab the last heart on your way to the chest, and you're good. And so is the 3rd floor. The first room has 8 hearts broken up into quadrants, each one with 2 hearts and a Don Medusa patrolling. First push this block to keep this one at bay and grab the hearts. Then when this gall is off to the left, push the block up against the wall, trap him on the other end and get the hearts. Then push this block over and trap this gall with the blocks and get the hearts on this side. Then push this block over to protect this lane to the chest and one of these blocks to trap the last gall. Get the jewel and get out. The second room has 6 hearts and 3 snakies, so it sounds simple enough, but you've got a moat surrounding 2 strips of land with a heart on each. So first grab the hearts around the perimeter, then turn one of these snakies up here into an egg and ride it down to get the hearts. You can speed up the process by hopping back across the egg and getting both of them in one shot, but you do run the risk of getting stranded. So there's no shame in just riding it back down, getting rid of the other snaky, and then using the other one in the corner to get the last one. Either way, after completing the room, you'll move on to room 3, which has 3 skulls, galls, a Medusa in one corner, and the only heart in the room in the other corner. Your first instinct might be to go for the heart, but that's going to wake everything up, so you've got to set up first. Push this block against the skull, then push this block up a bit so you can go around and push it up against the gall. Then push these blocks against the wall, this one over to the side so you can get in and block the gall and Medusa with the blocks, and then this one in front of the gall protecting the chest. Now go back to the heart, grab it, and wait for the skull to try to catch up to you. Once it goes one way, you go the other and get back around to the jewel. The fourth room only has 4 hearts, but there are 2 galls, 2 skulls, and a Don Medusa, which is guarding the door and overseeing most of the room. Stay behind the blocks or enemies when it crosses over, and when the coast is clear, push this block over to get it over the bridge. But make sure you grab this heart first, cause this one way will trap you, for now anyway. There's a reason we're saving this one for last. When Don Medusa swings over to the left, grab the heart and wait for him to come by so you can trap it. This is why you needed to grab these 2 hearts parallel to him in this spot. Now go over and grab the heart on the other side, and now with 3 hearts you get the bridge power, which lets you back over to the other side. Grab the last heart, and now the skulls and galls have woken up. To get to the chest, eggify the gall from behind, get him out of the way, and grab the jewel to put everything away and get out. The last room has a Medusa and Don Medusa preventing you from crossing the center lines, while the galls guard the path up to where they are. Needless to say, you don't want to leave this heart for last, since it's going to wake these guys up and you're fucked. So instead, first go up this way to block the Don Medusa on your way to the first heart, then come back down, egg up the snake, and push it over to block the Don. Then turn the other snakey into an egg, and do the same for the Medusa so you can get to the other side. Repeat the process of blocking the other side to get the last heart, and you're done with the floor. First room on this floor has 6 hearts, with 2 galls on the opposite side guarding the chest. Get the 2 hearts over here by pushing the blocks beside them, and then the ones in front of them off to the outer edges so that you can collect them and still access the middle of the room. Do the same for the next one, push the next one out of the way to get to the next 2, and there's 1 more between you and the chest. Push these blocks off to the side so you can push these in front of the galls, protecting you from their attacks when you cross to collect the last heart and the gem. Push this block up the path and cross the bridge to move on to the next room. There are 8 hearts in here, 2 snakies, and most importantly a Medusa barricading a heart and the chest. Grab the 4 hearts up here that you can get to. Just make sure you swing around the rock here so you don't get tagged by the Medusa. After the 4 hearts, you'll get the one-way pass to switch the arrow. Come back down here, push the blocks this way so you can get into this chamber of sorts, get the 3 hearts over here, and push one of these blocks out to block the Medusa from the chest. And then another one up this way so you can get to the heart, and that'll do it for the room. There are 11 hearts in the next room, most of which are scattered on the west side of the room, staggered along with rocks and snakies. On the other side are 3 skulls along a tight corridor, leading to a gall and Medusa guarding the last 2 hearts with a chest in the middle of the room. You gotta get the long line of hearts first, and the only way to reach them is to first egg this snaky, kick him, grab the heart, egg and kick the next one, and so on and so forth. Push this block here to give you safe passage both ways as you grab this heart, and then continue on. Eggify this snaky and push it against the other one, grab the heart, and then push the block on this side to the other end so you can get into here, and grab these 2 hearts. Come back around, egg and kick the 2 back-to-back snakies, grab the last heart, and nab the jewel before any ghosts catch up and get out. The 4th room has 9 hearts, and they're all in condensed clumps of other shit. Grab these 2, they're the only ones you can reach right now, but you do get the magic points necessary to egg and punch the snake off the screen for a heart, and then another one you can egg to bridge your way across. Just make sure to quickly come back so you don't have to use the block in the corner to trap yourself from the heart behind the skulls, which we'll get to in a second. You'll get a bridge by this point, which you'll want to use over here to push these blocks out of the way to get the 4 remaining hearts in this region. Just make sure to leave one behind. Swing back down here for the heart behind the skulls, egg and kick this one here to get the heart, then go back to the last one you left off at, and as everything wakes up, it's a quick run to the jewel and you're done. The last room of the floor has 6 hearts, a Medusa in the middle, and a shitload of arrows. It looks like an insanely tricky maze, but really it's just the arrows that have only one entry point while the arrow is facing towards you that you won't be able to get past. So you're stuck in this area with a Medusa and you want to head here, but it's gonna shoot you if you cross, so instead go around the rocks this way and cut through. Push this block down so you can pass through here, and then grab this heart, pushing the block up here to block the Medusa. Then go back around, grab the heart, and push this block up to get the next 2 hearts. Swing around this route to get the heart over here, and push this block against the rock so you can swing around to get the last heart and the jewel. And you're done with the floor, and halfway through the castle. In the first room of the 6th floor, you've got 10 hearts and 5 Medusas spread all around. Thankfully, these 3 hearts toward the bottom will block the center Medusa's attacks, but first you need to block these 2 down here. Now you can cross over and block the 2 against the wall, allowing access to the north side of the room. Push these blocks forward and then miss one to the side to get the hearts in the back. Then push this block down here to give you a wall so you can grab the heart without getting killed. And grab the hearts over here in the same way, leaving room to push this block down to block the Medusa and get the heart. Then do the same with this block to get the heart on this side, and then finally the one down here, bring it around to let you take the last heart, get the jewel, and you're done. In this room, you've got 8 hearts. Start off grabbing this one, push this block all the way down, and these blocks out of the way to get the 3 hearts down here. Then push this block up to give you some room to push it back down here, and shove it across so that each half of it is blocking both Medusas down here. This is enough to hold them both off. Swing back around to push this block across and down, get the hearts up here but leave one behind. Egg up the snaky to trap the Medusa against the wall, and push the block down here so you can get the heart in the corner. And now you can get the last heart and the jewel, and you're on to room 3. In here you've got 6 hearts, 2 Medusas, and a leaper that's trapped behind the block. First push this block all the way around so you can barricade this Medusa and allow you up this way. Push the block out just enough to let the leaper out, and lure him to the other side. And get on the grass so he'll run around it and try to get you down this way, trapping him in front of the Medusa and creating a barrier. Now go back around, get the 2 hearts up here, and push this block all the way here to stop this Medusa from attacking you as you get the heart. Grab the last one and the jewel, and it's on to room 4. Here there are only 4 hearts, but there's a skull waiting to wake up, and a Medusa just chilling by one of the hearts and the chest. First collect the 2 hearts over here and down here. You want to ignore this one for now because the Medusa is going to kill you. So instead push this block down here to clear a path, turn the snaky into an egg, and let it sail across the river as you head down this way. When it lines up, head across, push the block against the Medusa so that when you climb back out, you can get this heart safely. And now you've got a bridge, so send it across here to get the last heart. Go back for the jewel, and the 5th and final room of the floor is next. Only 3 hearts, 2 snakies, and a Medusa are in here, plus a shitload of water. You're stuck on this little island down here and need to get to the other side. First grab the heart, and then turn the snaky into an egg and push him off into the water, riding it across the edge until you get here where you'll want to push the block in front of the Medusa. And then quickly push this other one on the other side of it so you can get back on the egg and get the last 2 hearts. Now get back off, wait for the egg to come back around so you can ride it back to the island, get the jewel, and you're moving on to the 7th floor. There are 14 hearts in this room, all surrounded into a condensed glob of blocks with 4 galls, one on each side. The only way to get into the circle is to turn one of these galls into an egg, so grab the heart, hit this one, and push him up so you can move these blocks and get the hearts. Then push this block so you can grab all the hearts here, and push these blocks to protect the chest from the galls. Remember, they won't wake up until you grab the jewel. Push these blocks around to block this guy, grab all the other hearts, and then push these blocks away so you can push this guy off to the side after egging him and pushing him out of the way to grab the last heart, paving the way to the jewel. The second room only has 2 hearts, and they're both right in front of you to start, but the place is loaded with Medusas, Don Medusas, and Galls, plus a Rocky. It's been a while since we've seen him. As soon as you move, the Don Medusas and Rocky start freaking out. You gotta be quick here. Get the hearts, and the chest is open, so it's all about traversing north at this point. Trap the Dons against the bottom part of the wall so you can pass them. Push this block up against the Medusa and swing around, trapping the Medusa behind these blocks as you pass. Just be sure to wait until the Don isn't close to you before heading straight for the chest, and it's on to room 3. Much like the last room, not too many hearts in here, 3 of them this time. But there's also skulls, galls, and Medusas. Grab the 2 hearts off to the side, go up the middle, eggify the galls on the side one at a time, pushing them in front of the Medusas, then egging up these Gauls so you can hit the chest without getting lit up after grabbing the last heart. Room 4 is one of those arrow maze deals, this time with a skull and a snaky between you and the chest, with 10 hearts in between. First grab this heart, then swing around and get this heart, and then up this way for 3 more. Turn this one way around, get this heart, through this way for another, and down here to get back to the start. Now go up and in here for a heart, turn the one way to get this enclosed one, get the last one here, and get ready to run from the skull. Head back to the corner to get the chest, and it's on to the last room of the floor. There are 8 hearts and 8 skulls in here, with the chest dead center. Grab the hearts around the edge, but leave one behind for now so you can use the one-way pass to get in and grab the inside hearts without waking up the skulls just yet. Use the one-way pass to give yourself a means to push the blocks in and lay them against the skulls. Then move this one-way arrow off to the side, and then push the other blocks in to trap half the skulls. When you get the last heart, it will trap half the skulls, which isn't perfect, but it minimizes the risk as best you can. Wait for an opening, grab the jewel, and you're off to the 8th floor. The room has 5 hearts, 1 Gaul, and 1 Medusa. Doesn't sound like much, especially with this much open space, but as we've seen before, this can be deceiving. Push these blocks up to get the heart, and then bring the free block down here to barricade the Gaul. Then push this block up here, get the hearts, including the one down here by the chest, and you've got them all. But you can't get the jewel yet because this Medusa will fuck you up. But now you've got the hammer, so break this rock, push the block across and down through the gap, and block the Medusa so you can head back and get the jewel. Now in room 2, you've got 8 hearts and a lot more enemies. Getting past the center Medusas is the first objective. Grab the heart in the corner, leave the other one for now, push these blocks out of the way so you can push this one out and bring it down in front of the Medusa. Then push this one down to block the other Medusa so you can push both blocks against them. Then push these blocks over to barricade the Gauls, come down for more hearts including these nooks, and push these blocks back up this way so you can sneak around to the other side and push them down to block the Medusas so you can grab this heart. Now head back up, grab the last one, and the chest is yours, and so is the room. This area is wide open and there are only 3 hearts and 3 Medusas, but these Medusas cover a lot of ground. Push these blocks against them this way, then push this one across and up here. This stagger job will block both of them. Push this block down to get the heart in the corner, and push this one down here to block the Medusas from either side. And you can freely get the last hearts, grab the jewel, and exit the room. In the 4th room, there are 4 hearts, a skull, and a Medusa. I guess this floor is the one that specializes in these deceptive low enemy rooms. Take this route across the arrows to get around the Medusa. Don't grab any hearts yet or you're fucked. When you get to the corner over here, push the blocks down to block off each side. You'll have to do this one at a time by using the arrowed entryway as a means of getting the blocks down here on this side. It's a little tedious going all the way back around a couple times, but whatever, it's better than dying. Save this heart for last, because if you grab this one, you'll get trapped and the skull will kill you. So grab this one instead, and let it chase you as you head to the chest and grab the jewel. Last room on the floor has 2 Don Medusas and 2 regular Medusas. Shit. Leave these 2 hearts for now, they keep the Dons in line. Head up here for these hearts, push this one down here to give this Don even more limitations, just watch out for the bastard on the other side. Get the heart as you trap him, and use the block over here to do the same to the other Don. Now you need to bring 2 more down here to block the Medusas from the south end, but they can still attack east and west, so go back and get more blocks to trap them in here, get the last heart, the jewel is yours, and the floor is completed. The first room on the 9th floor has 1 heart, 1 Alma, and 1 continuous path all around the room. There is a little reprieve here, which you'll need to use to get around the Alma, which is easier said than done because he's just going to follow you, and you're going to have to take these turns at just the right times to get away. However, if you stand back here, he'll roll towards you, and once you bail off to the side, he'll just keep on going, freeing you up to get the heart. But now you gotta go back, so do the same thing and race your way up to the jewel and to room 2. There are 11 hearts in here, all surrounded by blocks, with the chest guarded by a shitload of galls. First, the hearts. Push the blocks on the sides of the hearts forward, and the one in front off to the side, so you can grab the hearts. Just make sure to keep the outside blocks against the wall. Then do the same for the next row, pushing the ones on the side forward so you can reach the hearts. Clear a path down the center here so you can head this way and reach the last hearts. Now turn these galls into eggs and push them in the way of the next closest galls, and you'll be able to reach the jewel without having to get sniped by the galls that are further away. The third room has a bunch of those freaking leapers trapped behind a heart. Conventional wisdom tells you to leave this alone, but you've got to use these narcolepts to your advantage. Grab the heart down here when they're not so close so you can backpedal a bit. Trap the first one that comes out of this corridor, then eggify the next one and push him against the Medusa in here. When the next one comes after you, trap it along the wall, and then head up here to lure the last one over against the door. Grab the heart here, turn this gall into an egg, and quickly go around, grabbing this last heart so you can get to the chest and get the jewel before it rehatches and hits you before you can get it. In room 4, you've got 4 hearts. Head up here and push the blocks in and to the side so you can get the 3 hearts behind here. Push this block down here to block the gall in the corner, and use your newly acquired bridge to head across. Push this block out of the way to get down here, egg the snaky and kick him away, and wait for him to rehatch so that you can block the gall from attacking you when you grab the last heart here. Turn the snaky into an egg again, and push it against the gall so you can go back. Now you don't want this gall protecting the chest to shoot at you, so turn him into an egg too before you head up here for the jewel. Last room of the floor has 3 hearts and a ton of Medusas and galls. It's similar to earlier where you have to scale the room vertically using the blocks along your way to block shit. Grab the hearts, leave this one down here so you can pass the gall on the side, and position these blocks so they're half covering the Medusas. Go back down for the last heart, and head through the gap here to the jewel, and you're on to the 10th and final floor. First room, you've got 4 hearts with a gall and a Don Medusa guarding one of them, 2 snakies, and 4 skulls. Push this block all the way down to get the 2 hearts on the side. Just make sure the Don isn't hanging out on your side or you might get picked off. Grab the heart in the corner here and egg the snaky, pushing him down here. Then go back, push a block across the way, and use the space you just created to send it back down here alongside the snaky. And remember to watch out for where the Don Medusa is located so you don't get sniped. Turn the snaky into an egg, push him away, and jam the Don against the wall. Go back for another block to block him from the bottom, and then another to block off the gall. Don't stop here though, you'll want to bring one more back here to block off all the skulls when you come back down here to grab the last heart, grab the jewel, and skedaddle off to room 2. There are 5 hearts in here, 4 snakies down below, and 4 galls up top. Oh, and there are 4 leapers disguised as trees. First push the block up here to grab the heart, then come back down and you have the magic shot to eggify a snake. Push him aside to let the leaper out, and make sure you push the egg when the leaper is walking away from you so you have enough time to retreat. Put him to sleep out here in the open area, and now you can go into the nook to grab the heart. Repeat the process with 2 more of these guys, but make sure you give yourself enough room to walk along the edges. On the 4th of these snakies, you'll want to kick the egg away because there's not enough room to let the leaper out. Put him to sleep in the room, grab the heart, and now you've got to get past the galls over here. Poke your head in to lure him to shoot, and immediately head past him and the gall on the other side. You're going to need to cross him from the other side down here. But then you've got this asshole attacking you from behind. So you've got to lure this prick to shoot you so you can quickly egg him, swing around and put him here so he can't hurt you anymore, grab the jewel, and you're done. The third room has 7 hearts, 2 Medusas, 2 snakies, 2 galls, and a Don Medusa. Holy shit. Almost every enemy in the whole game. Grab the heart on your way through here, egg up the snaky, and push it into the water so you can grab the heart over here and quickly return by passing back over the same egg. Just be sure to push the block along the way, which you're going to want to use to block the Medusa and get the heart. Then do the same exact thing on the other side, and now there's just hearts in front of the Medusas. Turn the returning snakies into eggs, push them in front of the Medusas, and get the hearts. But kick one of the eggs away so it'll reappear up here, and you can reuse it. So now you've got a hammer. Use it to knock out this rock, egg the snake, and trap the Don in this room. Remember to make sure the Don is just on his way back up when you first break the rock to maximize the time you've got to retreat so you don't get tagged. Head up to the chest from here, and you'll reach the penultimate room. There are 5 hearts in here, 3 Medusas in a corner each, a Don Medusa in the other corner, skulls guarding the chest by the door, and a snaky in the middle. First push these blocks down so you can get the hearts near the Medusas. Then swing up here for a heart, egg the snaky, push him up here to block the Medusa as you grab the heart, and kick him away so you can use him again when he reappears. First, use your newly acquired hammer on the rock over here to let the Don Medusa by. Just make sure to give yourself enough time to retreat behind the snake. And egg him up so you can trap him and send him down here. Now you've got to get the jewel, but these skulls are making things difficult. Unless you egg one of them and push him up against the other one to trap it, grab the jewel and it's on to the grand finale. A shitload of Gauls plus a Medusa in the corner are guarding the chest. There's only one heart by the arrow up here, which is more of a pain in the ass than it looks, but it does hint you to what you're supposed to do. First grab the heart, and now all the Gauls have woken up, and trying to get down to the jewel is more than just wishful thinking, because even if you get by the Gauls, this fucking Medusa is stopping you from doing so. What you've got to do is egg this Gaul, and then send him down here to block the Medusa, but the arrow prevents you from heading back up to avoid the shot from the other Gaul. So what you gotta do, after getting the heart, is first egg up this asshole so you won't catch any fire from him. But you've gotta be quick before he hatches. Now you can egg this guy, push him over, come back around, and send him down here. Now when you come back, you'll want to lure the Gaul to fire so you can get a head start. And so long as you don't slow down, you should be able to get across to get the jewel, and enter the final door where you'll meet the evil King Edgar, who holds Princess Lolo like a stuffy, and it's gonna be this big showdown, but nope. Lolo just takes him out with a quick shot, and it's over. The final boss was a cutscene of what was essentially as abrupt as Indiana Jones shooting that guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark. This wasn't quite that hilarious, but it was close. Anyway, Lolo rescues Lala, and all is right with the world. That is, of course, until the sequel, The Adventures of Lolo 2, which would be released the following year, but we'll get into that one another time. But that's it for this game, and that's it for this edition of Aqualung's Game Reviews. See you next time.